All coincidences with real people are random. If they tell you that this is not the case, ignore them. The dark night shrouded Gotham like a heavy blanket, hiding the city in its shadows. For Bruce Wayne, it was a usual night of patrolling, a night when he became Batman, Gotham's guardian. In the night's shadows, he was more than just a man, he was a symbol of hope for some and terror for others. Tonight's patrol was no different from the previous ones until Batman heard strange sounds coming from one of the abandoned warehouses in the industrial zone of the city. Approaching the source of the sounds, he sensed something was wrong. Suddenly, floodlights blazed, blinding him for a moment. He heard a cold, familiar laugh and realized he was in a trap. Long time no see. Batman came the voice of the Joker, penetrating and full of madness. Batman found himself surrounded by Joker's henchmen. He quickly assessed the situation and engaged in combat. However, the Joker had meticulously prepared every move. Every strike of Bruce was predicted and planned. Batman fought with all his might, but the numbers were not in his favor. At some point, he felt a sharp pain in his back. One of the henchmen had struck him from behind with a heavy object. The pain was unbearable, but Batman continued to fight. He managed to take down several opponents, but then he heard a click, the sound of a cocked gun. "Endgame," Batman said the Joker, and pulled the trigger. The shot missed, but the distraction allowed one of the henchmen to deliver a powerful blow to Bruce's head. He felt the world around him begin to fade. Batman woke up in a dark room, shackled in chains. His body was covered in bruises and wounds. The Joker sat opposite him, smiling as he watched. "You're so predictable, Batman," the Joker said. "Always trying to save everyone, but who will save you?" Bruce knew he had to find a way out. He strained all his strength to break free from the chains, despite the pain. At some point he succeeded, but every second of resistance came with immense effort. Batman managed to escape captivity, but his condition was far from good. He was exhausted, his wounds bleeding, and every movement caused excruciating pain. Bruce understood he had to get to the Batcave for medical assistance. On the way, he stumbled upon a group of robbers attacking defenseless residents. Despite his state, he couldn't pass by. He intervened, protecting the citizens, but it cost him his last strength. Batman knew time was not on his side. He tried to contact Alfred, but his communicator was damaged in the fight. He stumbled through Gotham's streets, leaving a bloody trail behind him, until he reached the Batmobile. With difficulty getting behind the wheel, he headed to the Batcave. Every minute felt like he was losing consciousness. Memories of the past swirled in his head, of those he had lost. He saw his parents' faces, heard their voices. Finally, Bruce reached the Batcave. Alfred met him at the entrance, shocked by his master's condition. "Mr. Wayne," Alfred exclaimed, helping Bruce out of the car. "What happened to you?" "Joker." Trapped, Bruce barely uttered, losing consciousness. Alfred immediately began administering first aid, but the injuries were too severe. He connected Bruce to the equipment, trying to stabilize his condition, but time was ticking and there was no improvement. Despite Alfred's care, Bruce's condition continued to deteriorate. He understood his time was running out, but he couldn't allow himself to leave without protecting Gotham. At some point, he heard the alarm. The Joker and his henchmen were back on the streets, causing chaos. With immense effort, Bruce stood up. He knew this might be his last fight, but he had no other choice. He donned his suit and went to face the danger. Chaos once again engulfed the streets of Gotham. The Joker and his henchmen were spreading panic and destruction. Batman appeared in the midst of the mayhem. He fought with all his might, despite the pain and exhaustion. At some point, he faced the Joker face to face. "Do you really think you can stop me?" the Joker laughed. "I must," Batman replied, launching into an attack. The fight was brutal and relentless. Bruce felt his strength leaving him, but he kept fighting. Eventually, he managed to grab the Joker, but the latter was quicker. The Joker's final blow was fatal. Batman fell to the ground, feeling life slipping away from his body. The Joker stood over him, laughing. "You were always so predictable, Batman," he said. "But now the game is over." The citizens of Gotham, witnessing their hero's fall, were in shock. The city plunged into chaos, having lost its protector. Batman, the symbol of hope and justice, could no longer protect them. Bruce Wayne was gone, leaving behind a legend of the Dark Knight who fought for his city until the very end. But even the strongest heroes can fall if they fight alone. Gotham was engulfed in darkness, and despite all efforts of its citizens, it never recovered from the loss. The memory of Batman lived on in the hearts of those he protected, but without him, the city became an even more dangerous place. Bruce Wayne's story became a tragic reminder that even the greatest heroes are not immortal.